What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone for a match reaction. Napoli 2, Juve 1. No surprise, actually. Try to be optimistic in the preview. I said we need to win somehow, but this was pathetic. The showing that what we put out there on the pitch was embarrassing. It was pathetic. It's actually shocking the way you approach that game. From the lineup to just the intensity, just the play, the performances of individuals. It's just this club is dead. And again, said in my preview, when was the last time we won a tough game away from home against a good opposition? I cannot even recall it. It might have been 2 years ago at this point, or there's one in between, which doesn't really matter. We played a bad Napoli side in terms of their entire midfield was out. That backline contains players that are on par of our players, or some of them individually might even be worse, maybe, probably not. But it's not a good Napoli side, and they were comfortable. They were never in any sort of problems. We were in problems because we created our problems. You know, the season is over. I will say that the season is over. This team is going nowhere. It's pointless to, blame a coach because we've done it in the past. If you want to say this is all on Spalletti, fine, do it. I don't have the energy for that approach. It's the same players, a lot of the same players. It's the same results. So yeah, make of that what you want, But in the meantime, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I mean, I don't know how many points. I think we're like 4 points off top four right now with Bologna and Roma coming up. So that might be, I don't know, 7, 8 by the end of the year easily. That's on the board. The way we play against these top teams, it's very, very possible. It's actually very likely and probably going to happen that we're going to lose to Bologna and Roma, or at least one of them, because this team has no backbone. They have no quality. There's nothing in there. We need to be honest. We had nothing. That Yildiz goal came out of the blue. It came out of. It's the first time we actually entered the box. With that Yildiz goal, we had nothing. Not even the intensity or the intent to be in and around the box. We had absolutely nothing. We deserved nothing out of that game. When we talk about individuals, Cabal playing for this club is absolutely embarrassing. The fact that he started, that's on Spalletti. It's a horrible player, and I know people want to be give him time, or he was good pre-injury. He wasn't good pre-injury. He had one good game against Inter with a highlight cross to was a Mecani or whatever, and that's it. He cannot defend. He has no spatial awareness. He's just a bad player. Period. It's as simple as that. You play with no strikers. You make that extremely difficult for yourself. You waste anyone. Conceição, again, when was his last good game, against Bodo Glimt, and then people come at me and say, you know what, see what he does? Yeah, once every 2 months he shows up, with a good game, Conceição. Good for him, all in all. Horrible player to watch, again. Kelly, horrible, just bad footballers, period, At the start of the season, people, again, coming at me, or digging up old posts saying, oh, you're hating on Kelly. Yeah, because he's an awful football player. I don't care if they have a purple patch of a couple of games where they don't make a mistake. In the end, they're horrible players, not worthy of playing for this club. If you want to be in this situation, then yes, these players should be in the presser. You have Spalletti talking about McKennie because McKennie does everything I'm asking to do. Yeah, he does. He will say I will do it, but he's bad. He's a bad football player. I appreciate the game he put in against Udinese because he worked hard, but every single player, even the worst player on this planet, will have good games if you give him enough opportunities. It will happen. But all in all, these players are not the reason you're going to be a big club again. He does it all, McKennie. Yes, even assisting Napoli players, because there was nothing going on in that second half for Napoli as well, besides Galli backing down from Hoyland and Di Gregorio needing to make a fantastic save. And then McKennie pops up with a great assist for Hoyland. Kostic comes on. I'm not sure why he came on. We had nothing to lose, and we take that scared approach. He looked horrible yet again. Miretti comes on, way too late. I mean, all in all, from bad decisions in terms of setting up to bad performances from the same players over at Cambiasso, horrible. How many times do we need to do this? How many times are we gonna have the same conversation, about the coach, And I know at one point it will come down to. I'm not the biggest Spalletti fan, but I was not even calling out Tudor to get sacked. I had no emotion when Spalletti came in. I couldn't care less because it's the same players. I'm going to repeat myself. It remains the same group of players, the same horrible group of players. There was no intent, there was no fight, there was absolutely nothing going on in that game. And it's not the first time, it's the entire season. Even when you win games, you come out of that most of the times. You're like, yeah. The last time we won was this week. Who was it? Against Cagliari. I don't know who we played. Udinese in the cup. We gave nothing away to Udinese. You know, that was the only clean game I can remember in ages, and it was Udinese at home. Other than that, even when we win games, we come out of that and we're like, well, we won it. You know, good, but that was not easy. That was not, that was close. That was not comfortable. At the end of the day, it's the same thing every single week. We don't win against big teams, and we struggle to win against smaller teams. That's it. And this is not even a good Napoli side in terms of quality. Napoli, the entire midfield was lacking. They had no midfield. They were playing with random players at the back as well, or being subbed in as well. If you as Napoli fans, they will move out a lot of players they have in the squad, but Conte somehow is getting a tune out of these players. Motta didn't get a tune out of these players, not Tudor, and now it's Paletti's turn. How many times are we going to do this? I don't care that I didn't, like, the starting lineup was, again, scared to attack. The subs were scared, in my opinion, too late, weird subs, whatever. But at the end of the day, he could have played with Openda, Yulis, and Conceição or David to start the game. The result would have been the same. At the end of the day, these players crumble with the slightest of pressure. How many times did we give the ball away with no pressure whatsoever? Cambiasso, McKennie, all of them, Locatelli, just giving the ball away. They cannot deal with pressure. They cannot be playing for this club. I don't care what Spalletti says, that they're good in training, that he believes in them. Good for you if you believe in them. I've seen them for longer than you playing. I don't care what they do in training. We all watch them play week in, week out. If you want to put your trust in those players, fine, do that. I'm not going to do that. Because this is the result you will get every single week. This was pathetic and this was embarrassing. Because you're not playing PSG away. You're playing a Napoli side. We're better than you right now, but they don't have superstars all over the place where it's like, oh my God, what a team you're facing. No, they're not. I've seen Cagliari and other teams put Napoli in more trouble than we did. Just purely because they go for it at one point, because they have nothing to lose and we have nothing to lose. A point was not going to help us. Just go for it, do something. And we did absolutely nothing. We just accepted at the end that we were going to get defeated or scam a point. If that's the Juve that the club wants to see, if that's the Juve everyone wants to accept, fine. I'm not going to do it. This was horrible. Anyways, in the comments, let me know what do you think about the game result, the club moving forward this season. And yeah, we'll talk about it because I have no energy anymore for this. Ciao.